Hello, everybody, and welcome to our latest Plum Crazy adventure. Look who's with us. You want to say hi to everybody?
Say hi.
Hi! There you go. Somebody got a little bit distracted because Grandpa has us on the big TV, and he's like, oh, I see myself. So, hello, everybody. We hope that you are having a wonderful Sunday evening. Nick is convinced that we're going to talk about the Strasburg Railroad. We are not. I hate to bust
Thomas
little bubble, but we are going to be talking about Utopia of the Seas, the world's biggest weekend, which we did last fall.
Yes.
But before we get into that, I did want to say thank you to our 944 subscribers. We're creeping up there. Super excited. Yes, and he wants you to hit the subscribe button in case you didn't catch that. So,
all right, let's let him have his moment of fame here.
Okay.
All right, now look at the camera and say, hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Please subscribe to our channel.
Hi, everyone. Would you please subscribe to the channel?
Very good.
Nice job.
What's the name? Plum
Crazy Adventure.
Yeah, Plum Crazy Adventures. Used to be really clear. I don't know what's happening with that one, but you know how it goes. So,
good morning, everyone. This is hello. We're here at the Strasburg Railroad transfer.
Utopia of the Seas.
They're gonna go back to the Georgia Bay. They're talking soon.
All right, buddy. Well, we got work to do. Do you mind going over and then watching a couple of our videos for a minute? And then we'll go outside and go play here in a little bit. Does that sound like fun? Yeah. Okay. Well, I want you to
say bye to everybody.
Tell
so
everyone.
Say hello.
Yep. So
All
see
right.
you next week.
Say bye.
That's just Nick, not us.
And he's going under the table, I guess.
Yep. All right. Hey, whatever works for him.
Yep. He wanted to be a part of the beginning of it. So, again, thank you to our 944 subscribers. We are very appreciative of all of you subscribing. Make sure that you're letting your friends and family know because we are so close to our next milestone and we'd really like to get that crossed off so we can start looking at other goals.
Yep.
So I also wanted to do a little bit of a shout out today because today is actually National Cancer Survivor Day today.
Yeah.
And so just wanted to give a shout out to all of you warriors out there that are cancer survivors. We see you, we appreciate you, and very grateful that you are all still with us.
Yep. Very grateful. And especially my dad is a survivor of it too. So
yeah. So it's affected everybody in some way, I think, at this point.
Yes, it has.
So but let's go ahead and get into this because I know all of you are so excited. We are going to talk about the Utopia of the Seas.
Yes, beautiful ship.
World's biggest weekend.
And literally.
And it is definitely. So this is actually it's the second largest ship at sea. It's a sister ship to Wonder of the Seas. I think this one is actually just slightly larger than Wonder. But
I like this one better. I mean, I know we were on Wonder, and Wonder was beautiful, and it had all of its accords, and it was great, but
Scott was allowed to sail on Utopia, whereas Wonder, we did a ship inspection.
Yeah, but it was still gorgeous, and it was Nick's very first cruise, so...
Yes, Utopia is always going to hold a very special place in our hearts because it was Nick's first cruise, and that's kind of the reason why I really wanted to, talk about this one and kind of give you guys an idea on why I think this might be a really great first cruise for you, fall cruise for you this fall, if you're thinking about what you're going to be doing for fall break.
Definitely.
Because there's so much to do, so many things. We're going to get into all of that, but also, I mean, it's easy to get to. There's just a lot of reasons why we really think this would be a great fall vacation for you guys. So let's get into it. The very first thing that I want to bring up, if I can find my buttons, is the fact that Utopia of the Seas has 3 and 4 night itineraries going from Port Canaveral. And so these may not be the most popular destinations for people that are constantly cruising, that take 3 or 4 cruises a year. But you're going to be going out of Port Canaveral, which is a very easy port to navigate.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Nassau in the Bahamas, which is the home of Atlantis, as well as other excursions, which we'll get into. Then you're also going to be able to go to Perfect Day at Coco Key. So that is going to be your 3-nighter. And basically your 3-nighters, you depart on Friday and you come back to the port Monday morning.
Yep.
Now, your 4-night itineraries is the same thing, but you have a sea day. And then you are departing on Monday and you're coming back to port on Friday. So as you can see, this is a really great itinerary for somebody that is thinking of doing a long weekend, or if you have the week off, but you want to make sure that you have a couple of days before or after your cruise in order to be able to do a couple of other things before you head home.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've only got the week, but you can't do the weekends because baseball or whatever kid events are happening in the fall. So,
Yeah,
because we all know that like soon as they go back to school, it's like just constant. So, really, fall is football. I remember doing baseball too. Or was it football? Okay, so football in the fall is what he is telling me. You can tell that I had boys that did not play very many sports. Volleyball is what they played in the fall. That's what Christopher played.
Yes, volleyball was a good one.
So, as you can see, another reason why I really, really like Utopia of the Seas is you can do nonstops to Port Canaveral from Pittsburgh Airport or from Columbus Airport. As you can see, Columbus, Southwest, and Spirit Airlines is year-round. They do offer seasonal flights with Frontier. They aren't going through September and October, which is why it's not listed. And then Pittsburgh Airport, Southwest, Spirit, and Frontier, you get up to 5 flights daily nonstop to Orlando, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you get up to 3 daily with Spirit Airlines. Now, you could also go to Palmer Airport, which is the one that is out in Latrobe, which is great because you get free parking. But you just have to really keep in mind and be thoughtful of the flight schedules that are out of there. I think it's a really great one if you have a sensory issued person that is going with you that can't handle a whole lot of extra stimulus and stuff, because it's a very small airport.
Yeah.
They've only got basically 2 like gangways that you can access.
Yeah.
And there's only ever 1 plane in at a time. So it's very easy security, getting downstairs to wait, very easygoing, quiet. It's an older terminal. So that one might be a really great option if you have any kind of issues with that.
Now, just to let you guys know, Arnold Palmer Airport is building a new terminal.
Yes.
They are working on it right now. It is currently not open. There is some construction going on there. I doubt that it would impede your ability to get onto the plane at whatsoever. But, do kind of keep that in mind. There might be a little bit of construction that you might have to deal with when you're coming in. But other than that, I don't really think there's going to be any issues. But the great thing is they are expanding that airport, which means they're going to be able to handle more flights and more people. So, and that's a great thing for that airport. So
absolutely. And the best part about that airport is it is free parking.
Yeah, free parking. Free for now.
Yep. As of right now, I obviously, if you're watching this a year from now, check their website.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I wanted to bring up was the Canton Akron Airport, because they actually have really good flights with Allegiant, which goes into the Orlando Sanford Airport, which is a little bit different from the Orlando International Airport. It's farther north, but it definitely gives you a great opportunity. So definitely think that being able to go to Orlando and then just that short commuter over to Port Canaveral makes this a very accessible, friendly cruise for you and your family to be able to go on.
Now, another thing to keep in mind, guys, if you don't live anywhere near these airports, get a hold of us and get in contact with us. We can make suggestions on where you should fly out of or where you should go. We can help you with that planning part of it.
Oh,
and
yes,
stuff,
most definitely.
So
The majority of my clients that I work with are either going to be going out of Columbus or going out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So that is why, generally speaking, when I'm talking about things, I'm using those two as my reference point. But if you live in Nevada and you're like, hey, like I want to do this, like I'm more than happy to work with you. I work with people all across the country, so that is not an issue whatsoever.
Yeah, just because it says Columbus and Pitt here doesn't mean you have to fly to these locations to go from there. We can get you from any point in the United States.
Yep.
So
I have plenty of people that go in and out of the airports around Boston. So,
oh yes.
No issues there.
We got people in Washington. We got people in Arizona. We got people. Oh, jeez, we got people everywhere.
We do.
We got people we know people that are people and the people.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I need to stop. Roll the next slide.
Now, if you are going to be doing the world's biggest weekend, I do always highly, highly recommend that you fly in the day before your cruise at minimum, sometimes 2 days before, because you never know when something is going to happen, like what happened for us last fall.
Yes.
Did you want to talk about that?
Well, here's what she's talking about. You definitely want to keep in mind that flying in a day or two in advance, due to the fact that some of these cruises you're going to be taking is going to be during hurricane season. And everybody knows nobody can predict the weather except for our government. Anyway, except, just listen. I totally lost train of thought there. But anyway, it is during hurricane season and stuff. So you just never know what's going to be happening. So flying in a day or two prior to it is actually a really good idea so that you can get to the area and stay real close to the port. Now, this hotel that she's talking about right here that she has up is the Courtyard by Marriott, which we've stayed at.
Yes, and this is Cocoa Beach.
This is Cocoa Beach. This is down a little bit from the port. Maybe 5 miles?
Yeah, it's not very far at all.
So it's a nice little easy way to get there, kind of stay close to the beach. If you want to go walk out on the beach the night before, you can.
Great place to watch a launch.
Yes,
if
wonderful
you
places to
time
watch.
That right.
Yes, if there is an opportunity to see a launch, you're going to be able to see it really good from the beach center as long as the weather's good. But this hotel is a really nice one, and we did a staycation on this video, a video on this staycation that we did at this hotel. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check out that video and watch it, because
yes,
that's what we want you to do.
And I'm not telling you guys that you need to stay the night before or 2 days before, because I just want the extra because of the hotel. That is not it at all. No. So when we did it, in being a travel agent and like pushing the boundaries, because that's just what we do. Do as I say, not as I do. No, in this instance, take me seriously.
Yeah.
So we actually flew out the night before our cruise, which I would not recommend. I would recommend flying in the morning because there's less chances of atmospheric activity causing or just having mechanical delays and different issues happening
in Florida.
So when we went last year, we actually went in between the two hurricanes that hit. Yeah. So we went in as there was hurricane like gusts coming through Orlando, and they didn't know if they were going to be able to land the plane.
Yeah.
Do not recommend doing that if at all possible.
Yeah.
And then we flew out right before the next one came in. Like the next day, they shut down the airports again.
Yes.
So
as we came in, we could feel the hurricane force winds making the plane go like this.
Yes.
It was very interesting, but man, did we have excellent pilots through Spirit.
We really did.
We couldn't have
I know
asked.
they get a lot of crap, but they did amazing on that one.
We had veteran pilots, and they did an amazing job. So kudos to them for that. But we got on the ground. We got into the airport. We went and got our rental vehicle, and we spent the night.
Yes.
Literally right there, just right by the airport. And then the next day we drove on in over to the port.
Yes. So and again, I mean, you don't know when weather is going to be a factor, which in the fall, it could definitely be a factor. You don't know when your plane might get have a mechanical issue and not be able to make it to where you are.
Here's another good case in point. If you live in the northern climates and you're going in February to go on a cruise just to warm up a little bit, keep in mind, you might want to go a day early because, hey, you just don't know. Is there going to be a snowstorm coming through, a small blizzard somewhere that could impact the plane getting to your location to pick you up to take you to Florida?
Yeah.
So these all play into this majorly plays into effect on your vacation. So, but this is why you talk to us because, like Megan said, we've been there, we've done that.
I also track all of my clients' flights. I know that's a little bit of a weird thing some people have said in the past, but I like to know if there's going to be a potential issue before you do, so that you know how to plan and handle things accordingly. So moving on, I did want to say that if you do come in the day before, 2 days before, no big deal. Oh, Christopher's there. Be like me where storms follow me. No, Christopher.
No, we don't.
Sorry, I just turned my, I don't know how long you've been chatting with us, Chris, but forgot to turn my comments on. Oops. But Kennedy Space Center is a fantastic destination. As you can see, this is actually one of the launch pads, Launch Pad 39A is what you told me, I think, earlier.
I'm blown away that you knew that.
And so definitely you are going to want to have some things that you can maybe do, especially if you're coming in 2 days before, just to make sure that you have something. I don't always recommend that people necessarily book their tickets and things because it's a little harder to get refunds if there is a travel delay, but kind of have this on the back burner of, okay, we're going to go here and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Kennedy Space Center is probably my current favorite thing to do, but there's also Ron John Surf Shop and Cocoa Beach, obviously all kinds of different beaches that you can go and have fun.
There's also a place where you can go kayaking and go see giraffes and wildlife right at a zoo.
Yeah, that's the Brevard Zoo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right down the road.
We keep saying we're going to go, and we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying, let's do it, and somebody says no.
You know what? He has been like this all day.
Would you expect any different?
So definitely there's a ton of different things that you can do while you're down there before you get on your cruise ship.
Or even
and this
after.
is if you, or after. And this is just over in the Port Canaveral area. Obviously, if you're in Orlando, take a couple of days and do a couple of days at Disney, even if it's just a staycation. Or maybe you want to go to Universal to their brand new theme park.
Or maybe you want to go to
Discovery Cove.
Or
Legoland. That's a little bit farther over towards Tampa, but still, you could easily do that.
You can go to Gatorland.
You could do Gatorland, yes.
Or you can even
do the airboats.
You can get on an airboat and be picking the bugs out of your teeth for a month. But anyway.
Oh, now I kind of want to check my teeth. Thank you for that.
So the rest of the show, we'll be talking like this. No, I'm kidding.
Christopher says all day his whole life. You are not wrong, Christopher. All righty. So kind of gone over a little bit of the reasons why we think it would be a great reason for you to go early and some things that you could do before the biggest weekend. Now, other things that I think would be a really good reason for you to consider the Utopia of the Seas is basically just the sheer size of it. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, there are actually balconies that are overlooking Central Park. So if you have somebody that is with you that is like very easy to sensory overload, they need a break, but you want to have that balcony setting, Central Park might be a really great fit for you for that. It does get a little bit busier in the evenings because this is where like Chops Grill and Asumi and the different restaurants are located. But overall, it tends to be very tranquil and very quiet. And so having these Central Park balconies overlooking the inside of the ship can really make you feel like very just like, okay, and kind of give you a chance to regroup. Give you a chance to regroup before you move on and you do the next thing. I feel the same way. Like I will always be an ocean balcony girly. Unless I get a really good deal on one of these, I will always pick the ocean. But I know that's not for everyone. Yeah.
Well, if you got somebody that's a little bit afraid of water and stuff, but they really want to experience a cruise, this would be an ultimate way to do it. And
because you never know you're on a cruise ship.
Right. Exactly. I walked in the middle of this. I was literally standing there with Nick, and like you think you're in the middle of New York City. Like there's buildings all around. It looks like buildings all around you, but it's the ship. I mean, it's really weird, but it is so quiet and tranquil. I mean, they actually pump air conditioning. That's the funny thing that I found out about this. They pump air conditioning into this open air environment.
Yep.
So the guests will stay cool on the ship.
Yep.
It's
another reason why I really like cruising, because their air conditioning is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
We will have a much more difficult time keeping Mike warm on his cruise than we will on keeping us cool.
Yes. I tell you what, 90% of the time when we were back in the room, I spent most of it out on the balcony because it is so beautiful to be at sea, looking out and seeing the dark sky and the stars and stuff. Just oh my gosh, I'm ready to go again.
Can't you tell? Now, adverse to that, if you have a child that is sensory seeking like Nick is, maybe you want to consider a balcony room that is over at the boardwalk. Okay, the boardwalk is a very active kids zone style area of the ship that's towards the back of the ship. This is where you're going to have the aqua theater, rock climbing. You've got Johnny Rockets, Playmakers, bar and grill if you're big into sports. Obviously, the carousel. There's all kinds of different things and different stimuli happening here. So it's a really great opportunity if you have, like, if say for instance, like me, I'm like, okay, I need a few minutes. Like I can sit up there and I can kind of watch stuff, but like Nick can like really like, oh my gosh, look at this, look at that, as I regroup.
Right.
So if you happen to have that, again, I'm always going to pick the ocean view because that's my personal preference, but that doesn't mean it's yours. And I'm trying to kind of give you guys the idea of you don't have to just stick with the traditional on this cruise ship because we've just given you 3 different cabin types that are all balconies to give you the extra space that you wouldn't get in an ocean view or an interior room. And it's really fantastic because it caters to so many more people, so many more families, and the things that they may or may not need.
Yeah, and the great thing about actually this room, if these rooms are overlooking all the action and stuff, this actually gets kids excited about what they want to go do next.
Yes.
You get back in from, let's just say, your perfect day, cook, okay, you're out and you're tired and stuff. And then you're like, okay, well, we've got a show to go do tonight. We've got this, but let's go after the show. We're going to go hit the carousel that you really want to go do. And then we'll go do the wall climbing and da-da-da-da. Yep. This is a great way to keep them entertained and excited. And then at the end of the day, oh yes, that wonderful tranquil time when they pass out completely and mommy and daddy are like, it's exciting time. So yes, it's great to see that.
Now, I will say, and it happened for us. I can't guarantee it's ever going to happen for you because let's face it, all of our kids are different. But Nick slept hard on these cruise ships, or on this cruise ship, I should say, because he's only been on Utopia so far. And so you and I actually got to have a really amazing breakfast at sea on our sea view balcony.
Yes.
As you can see, absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
We had the best time. Nick snoozed through the entire thing. Like Scott and I mean, we got up decently early. I think we had it delivered at 9 because
that was terribly early. Anyway, yes.
This particular cruise, we should have already been in Nassau, but we knew that we were getting delayed because of the hurricanes and different things, tropical storms happening. We knew that we weren't going to be getting in until later, so we had our let's just go ahead and have our breakfast delivered, give Nick a chance to sleep before we really had a big day. So, and that's something that you can do in any of those balcony rooms. Enjoy that balcony as you're overlooking whatever it might be for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, because you do have the option for room service. And I do recommend you doing it at least once because it really... Did we do it 3 times on that cruise?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
Well, there's one.
I know. We did it a lot on Virgin.
Charcuterie boards. There was 2. And then we had wings one night, I think. Something. There was, oh man, we had so much food on that cruise.
This is true.
I came back.
That's a whole other thing, and I didn't even get into the food on this.
Yeah,
one.
that could be literally a show just on the food itself.
Absolutely,
man.
And if you are curious about that, I do have a reel that gives an overview of all of the different eateries that they have aboard Utopia of the Seas.
Yeah.
So
wonderful ship. I had a great time on there, and I'm telling you one thing: this will not be my last sailing on this ship. I will be back on this ship again in the near future, real near future. So, anyway.
And another reason why we think it's such a great opportunity is they have these Broadway style shows. As you can see, this one in particular is called All In. This is going to be in the Royal Theater, and it was a really fun and unique high energy show.
Yeah.
I was a little worried how Nick was going to handle it at first, just because he doesn't always sit well for things like this. But I think he was just so worn out and just like zombified by this time that he's just like, pretty colors.
I do believe he actually enjoyed the show.
I think
because he was really into it. There was a lot of lights and music. And, yeah, but he was enjoying it. So I mean, that was a great thing. But it is definitely one of those things that get those kids worn out during the day. You can go check out those shows, and they're going to sit there pretty good for you. So
yep. So
because I know there was a bunch of little kids around us, and they were pretty quiet.
All of them, really, for the most part. Yeah. So it was really great. The other one that you could do is the Utopia Studio B. So did you know that there was actually ice skating available to you when you are on Utopia of the Seas and other specific Royal Caribbean cruise ships?
Yeah.
So we actually got to see this ice skating show. Nick did watch it quite a bit and seemed to enjoy it. He had a good time. And then my honorable mention, the one that we did not get to do just because of how things worked out that first cruise, that because of how everything went with us boarding late, all of that, was the Aqua 82, which is the Aqua Theater show, where they actually, off the back of the ship, they've got this big pool area that is specific for their Aqua show, thank you. And they actually have divers that dive into it and things like that, which just blows my mind that you're on a cruise ship that is out at sea and you've got people diving into this pool that is big enough for them to dive into. So definitely very, very fun entertainment available for you while you are on this cruise.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the ports that you can go to and the things that you can do. So as you can see, I will never stop talking about this. We did get to swim with the pigs while we were in Nassau. It was so much fun. Highly recommend this excursion if you're going. But obviously, that's not the only thing. I mean, maybe your kid is just not into it. Nick loved it, but it was going to be 50-50. I was like, it's either going to go really great or it's going to go really bad. I don't know which one. Unfortunately, it went really well.
Yeah, it went very well. He loved it.
But Nassau is also home of Atlantis. So if you've ever wanted to go to Atlantis and just didn't want to have to pay for the airfare, or I hate to say it, the very expensive rates it is to stay at Atlantis, you can do that. Snorkeling is a really great thing to do while you're here. Snorkel cruise. They also have glass. Yes, you did.
I did.
You also have glass bottom boat tours that you can do. So if you have somebody like Nick's age that doesn't want to snorkel or you're worried about that, do a glass bottom boat tour.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's very educational for the kids to be able to see all the different types of fish and the collared fishes and the coral reefs, and just pretty much everything that's down there. And you might be able to see a nice turtle, or might see a barracuda. You never know. I've seen those, and geez.
Not in Nassau, but we have seen them.
But they are around Nassau.
In our snorkeling adventures.
Yes, that was in Florida. But anyway.
Yep. So, and then of course there is the perfect day at Coco Key, and this has changed so much from when I first went and did it in 2004, and so many things for you to do. Whether you've got the kids and you just want to spend the day at Captain Jill's Galleon, which is the kid water park area, or you want to go ahead and pay for the adventure water park. Maybe you want to do up and away and take that very cool air balloon up. You can definitely do that as well. So all kinds of different things. You can also do other excursions that are not necessarily on the island, but let me tell you, there's so many things to do here that you can come to it again and again and find something to do every time.
And this is another thing that we could do another show, literally on a live, talking about all the things you can do at the perfect day at Coco Cay. I mean, there is a ton of things.
Absolutely.
And I want to tell you what, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. But the little walkway right there running in.
Yep.
All those umbrellas, lifesaver.
Right.
Big time lifesaver. I'm telling you what.
As that Bahamian sun, you are going to get burnt.
Yes. Lots and lots of sunscreen, people.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Yep. And test your sunscreen out before you go, especially if you have sensitive skin like Nick and me.
Yes.
We think that he ended up having some issues with the face sunscreen that we had, because he had a little bit of like swollen eyes and stuff. Not bad, but like enough that I was like, are you okay? Do I need to take you to the medic center? Like, are we having a reaction to something?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much going to wrap up everything that I wanted to talk to all of you guys about for the Utopia of the Seas, the world's biggest weekend.
Yes.
Cannot wait to get you guys on it. Like I said, definitely this fall, there's some really great rates. So definitely reach out if you're thinking about it. We can talk over which cabin category is going to fit you best. And the biggest reason I didn't add any kind of pricing to any of this is because really depends on what's going to work best for you and your family, whether it's going to be a 3-nighter, a 4-nighter, based on how those go, or also like which cabin is going to be it. I mean, are you like me and you're like, no, I have to have that ocean cabin, like with the balcony,
or you just might want to just splurge and do the best.
Yeah, maybe you want that suite that overlooks the aqua theater so that you can watch the aqua theater every night, and then when you're not watching that, you kind of look out and you see the wake a little bit. I mean, that's an option too.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So definitely lots and lots of options for you. So definitely reach out if you're thinking about it. I'd love to be able to talk to you. And we are able to actually book this. I know I'm saying a lot about fall travel because, I mean, you really need to think about fall travel. But we can book this into the end of 2026. So if you're like, okay, like, I don't know if it's going to work for us for our budget for this year, but let's definitely do it next year. We can do that. Awesome.
Hey, let's do something next year. Can we talk?
Sure.
Do you want me to call you?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway.
Maybe a text would be better.
All right, I'll shoot you one here in a minute. So. Well, guys.
Next week, we are going to be talking about beach vacations because we're officially into our first week of summer. I'd say most of our kids are either finishing up school this week or they finished it up last week. And so everybody's got it on the mind of like, oh my gosh, like summer is here, summer vacation. What are we doing? Where are we going? And we are going to talk about some of our favorite U.S. beach destinations. Scott, do you remember where this photo was taken?
Can't tell. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses, so I can't really tell. Is that Daytona?
That is not Daytona, but I'm actually impressed that you thought of that one.
Well, I'm looking at how hard the sand is and how wide the beach is. So I'm actually looking over at the big screen right now. We've got it on in the living room. Trying to cheat here. No, I don't know exactly where. Is that California?
That is not California. This is in the Outer Banks. This is actually Corolla, North Carolina.
Is that OBX?
That's OBX.
Wow.
So this is the Outer Banks. So we are actually going to be talking about the Outer Banks a little bit. Very limited availability for the summer. But if that is something that you're like, you know what, I just need to get away, let me know. I'll see what I can find. Okay.
Wave therapy is a good thing.
Wave therapy is amazing. So Outer Banks, we're going to talk about Chickateague a little bit, which is our absolute favorite beach
100th
vacation
anniversary, 100th.
destination. It is the 100th anniversary, so we will be kind of talking about that a little bit. 100th anniversary in that
The pony swim.
The pony swim.
Yeah.
I guess we should clarify because not everybody is into the
Not us
Chickateague
going.
lingo.
Not us going 100 times. You know.
No.
It's close, but
feels that way sometimes. But no, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of our favorite Florida beach destinations and kind of just give you an overview of here are some really great places that you can go to.
Yep.
And then kind of give you a little bit more of an in-depth chat about all of that come next week.
Well, some beach. That sounds like a wonderful show. I can't wait to see it. Oh, I mean, do it.
Oh, too funny. So as always, we do thank all of you that are following us and subscribing to us and watch our videos. We do really, really appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. And thank you for trusting me with your vacations. I've got people going to Gatlinburg and Disney next week, and I cannot wait. My summer vacationers are officially starting, and I cannot wait. I know. I'm like, which one? I want to do both.
Yeah. You go one way, I go the other.
So definitely very excited for those families and excited for my people that are going a little bit later in the year as well.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I know she's already said this, but hey, thank you to the new subscribers that jumped onto our channel and following us, and welcome to the Plum Crazy family. So
it's crazy.
Yep, sure is. But anyway, guys, so you heard what we're going to do next week, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great show. So don't forget to join us next week at 7 o'clock. Unless something goes wrong around the house here again, then we have to push it to 7:30.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So anyway,
we're trying to get better about that, but I mean, life.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, it does. It does. So anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for joining us tonight. And as always, guys, are you ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Because we are ready to get you there.
See you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.